Ven bonito como una flor, ven descendo do céu, andorinho, Espírito que Deus mandou. Vem descendo do céu, andorinho, Espírito que Deus mandou. Eu gritava por Nossa Senhora, meu Deus, com uma espancada.
At this moment, Mata Atlantica, only 5% is left. The original extension was about 1.1 million square kilometers. And from that, we have less than 5% at this moment.
Especially this place is very unique because it's a relictual vegetation. This part of Mata Atlantica has its a special temperature, special rainfall, special currents, winds, etc. And that gives to this place a very particular ecosystem. So you can find here in this area a lot of plants that are not in other areas of Mata Atlantica. For example, pau-brasil, we have a big population of pau-brasil in this land. And this, we are in close to Buzios, between Cabo Frio and Buzios, and this is a land that it's under pressure because it is a touristic place, the land is very expensive, and so all this is in danger. And this is the last big area of unspoiled mata that we have in this region. So that's why it's so important to do something about it.
Mata Atlantica has been reported as the second main source of medicinal plants after the Amazonian region. So it deserves that we come here and start working with medicinal plants.
Eu gritava por Nossa Senhora, meu Deus, com uma espancada.
We start trying to do a kind of conservation project. But talking about conservation, you have to work like with different blocks. First, culture is very important. People living within that frame. Second, the natural resources that you want to preserve or to conserve, and education. So these are the three main factors that we are working at this moment. Our project is quite interdisciplinary.
People belong to this. They are not apart. The tourists that are so used to come and have a good time and then leave, they should understand what is the deep relationship that they have with a place like this and the importance that it is to preserve a place like this. One of the things that always worried me when I was a student and when I started doing research was that it didn't have a immediate application, what we were doing, what I was doing. So I had a very bad time first years, not understanding really well how was the game to discover my biology, I would say, in relationship with the rest. The main goal is to establish a laboratory of ecology, a lab that would study the ecology of this place.
The entire cycle of one species depends on the presence of many other species. So in order to do that, I have to understand what is the dynamic of the forest that I am studying. So besides studying the relationship between them, I have to see which is the dominant species, which is the one that is the leader species, and decides that the forest has to work under that rhythmicity. They don't have time as we do, but they have rhythms. So that is the thing that we are doing now, just concentrating in studying the relationship between different species. So to do that, I have to see how the species are growing when they are together, accompanied by other type of species, how they are doing when they are alone. Sometimes you see that maybe when they are together living with other species, they live better. they have more vitality, higher vigor, and they are doing better than when they are working or living isolated. So in other words, I have to see all these kind of relationships. To identify the leaders in plants, since the plants cannot talk, I cannot ask questions about what are the role in this forest, what are you doing, how do you manipulate the other species to live together and so on. I have to observe. Everything is observation.
Eu gritava por Nossa Senhora, ai meu Deus, mas com mais brancada luz.
Verde?
Come.
Verde?
Adriane minha come, que a menina pequenininha minha come. Come.
Vou provar.
Mas é gostoso.
E tá muito verde isso.
Mas come.
É?
Depois que você vai tirar, fica adocicada.
When you work with a healer through the forest, you realize that there are many plants that they are maybe pandemic plants, and they are working also with these plants but under different uses, and you can recognize the plants used by other cultures in a different manner. So again, you can extend your knowledge, just listen to the local healers and see that maybe a plant has more uses that the healer knows in that regional area. The healer has been able to identify many other plants that they are not part of the mature forest, but the forest that has been disturbed, and now they are in different stages of successional process. So in other words, they are getting little by little toward what was initially the forest. So that means there are many plants that we consider as a weeds, that they are also medicinal.
Marmiquet.
Marmiquet.
Marmiquet is good to fight against fever, right?
Which one,
Fever.
Coqui?
Fever. Marmiquet, essa nova, essa
Lantana.
não conhecemos.
Marmiquet.
The healer understands quite well what is the role of the forest, because from that forest is that he or she is taking the plants, and the plants are going to serve the community. And when you pay attention to the healer has a very important relationship with the forest. It's different from us because we are not used to see nature in the way that they see it. The healer is able to talk to the plant.
Essa aqui dá no brejo.
It's like there is a very extreme, very deep communication between them. So the healer, always that he or she visits the forest, is talking to the forest and asking the permission for the plant to take the different parts. Because they know that it's difficult to find it. Sometimes they have to do very long journeys in order to get it.
Eu gritava por Nossa Senhora, ai meu Deus, o com mais brancada luz.
Olha, mas fala a verdade.
She has a friend that they cannot understand.
Já tá dando
From Africa.
Tá muito bom. É.
Você conseguir pegar aquele outro ali foi uma luta?
Guiné Pipiu, número 20. E eu vou para
And
Guiné Pipiu, para o mesmo que eu vi.
that poverty
Banho de descarrego.
is measured mainly in our culture by possessions and what you live in and what you have and your status. But this woman has status in her community by her knowledge, and her knowledge is the knowledge of nature and how it applies to you, how you can use nature to enhance your life.
Não bebe água gelada.
I have found another interesting aspect that I can introduce into this, the holistic concept of health. You see, in the traditional societies, they work with plants. So all the time that you are working with medicinal plants, in one way or in another, you are working also with the traditional society. And they have a wonderful concept about health. It's not only the biological part that they pay attention, mind, the emotions, the environment, the social aspects, so all these things are integrated in what it means to be healthy. The healer, at this moment, we are working with two main healers. But this is just the beginning of the project. We are working in one part with the forest, second the healer, but the third element is the community. You will meet the community through the healer. And the community really trusts the healer in the best way. That is like a type of communion.
Eu gritava por Nossa Senhora, ai meu Deus, mas com mais francada luz.
So you can get to sleep. It's just because
Eu assisti na frente
to
pra
know
nós.
what I say in English and they ask.
Daí
La Maria va a
vai
terminar aprendiendo inglés.
a
Ah, and you add an aspirin.
Oh, faz cozinha de olhos, peixe com pirina.
Cozinha fora da terra e bota uma aspirina.
Ah, and
Das aves que andará no corpo da Vamos da rainha do mar, nós vamos da mãe sereia. Nós toda a história em nome de Jesus, gente divino, que sai de 14 de mim, Deus do Pai Todo-Poderoso, abençoado. Será pregar com Deus. Por mim batia, eu gritava por Nossa Senhora, ai meu Deus, com uma trancada doía.
We are not pretending to save Mata Atlantica by ourselves. We are inviting people from different disciplines to work with us. We are going to share with them whatever information we have. And it's a very long-term project.
I don't think that I didn't view it as this before, but it's much more meaningful to me that the trees are really the substance of life on this earth.
I see this is the way to work together, you know. This is a patrimony for the humanity. It's not only for the Brazilian, it's for all of us who can serve from this knowledge, from this environment.
We really start to listen to the place, and I mean, it's really beautiful.
And today is the day to think globally and to act regionally. So we are moving more and more into that. We are citizens of the same planet. So it's a planet that we have to save as a whole.
Se fuma com arruda e guiné, a beijoinha ao fazer minha lucrinho. Vamos defumar o selho de pé, a beijoinha ao fazer minha lucrinho. E vamos defumar o selho de pé.
bonito.
Mas cadê a